Hello and welcome to another edition of the podcast. Today we will be talking about everything trade union. We have a special guest with us today, Shah Sanwar Hussain. He is the BAME and political officer of the CWU union. Welcome to the program, Shah Bhai. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you today?
I am the BME and political officer of not only CW. I'm the Romford Amal branch, not whole national.
Right, just Salman Branch. Okay, thank you for
Yeah.
clarifying. And he is also a community activist. He's very well known, very active. He's also the chairperson of the Shunamunj Jela Association in the UK. So how are you, Sanwar bhai?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. So, do you want to tell us how long you've been with the CW Union? Can I just say that CW Union actually stands for Communication Workers Union?
That's
Yes.
right, yeah.
Yeah. So, how long have you been with the union?
I'm CW member since 2002, and I have been actively involved with the CW since I joined the CW.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, before we delve into uh, further questions, I just want to give some background of the unions in the UK. So the origins of trade unions go back to the medieval craft guilds, but industrialization during the 19th century prompted the growth of national unions, culminating in the Trade Union Act of 1871. Um, so the trade unions were formed in Britain during the Industrial Revolution between 1760 and 1840 to protect workers from unnecessary risks using dangerous machines, unhealthy working conditions, and excessive hours of work. So Sanwar bhai, I mean, why did you join the CW union? What was the reason?
I'm working in the postal industry, and the CW is covering all the postal service. For an example, the Royal Mail, Post Office, Parcel Force, and the Royal Mail is actually the parent company of Post Office and Parcel Force.
Okay.
So, as a postal worker, the CW is operating Post Office and their branch of whatever the other branch. CW is taking the member from the post office and the financial service, telecom, BT, and some other company as well. So that's why I did join the CW to protect my job, protect my dignity, protect my working rights and everything.
Mm.
So back up my job and back up my facility.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, other sectors which CW covers, can I just go through the list? So basically postal, courier, logistics, telecoms and engineering, administration, security, facilities and maintenance, banking and financial services, call centers, business process outsourcing, retail and sales, technology and new media. It's a really large organization. I mean, it has almost 185,000 members. So tell us about the recent conference you had, Sanwar bhai.
This year is 188,000.
Wow, it's a very
Okay.
large organization. So tell us about the conference that you had recently. And I saw a video which almost went viral, like where you made a speech as a rep or delegate, I think. So what was the speech about? Do you want to go into the detail of what you made, what the speech was about? And
Uh, we have annual conference every year. Almost is going to be Bournemouth International Center,
yeah,
and for a week. So last year we did not have any conference because of we had a massive strike. We had
okay,
18 days strike. That's why, and some other reason we had postponed our national conference.
right,
So this year Yeah, we had again the conference for a week. So that you are talking about the talk on the video. This is in the conference, we do submit lots of motion.
Right.
So we are talking about the motion, how is going to ahead or is going to
So,
carry it
so
or
this is
not
just for
carry
the
it.
average viewer. What is emotion? Do you want to explain what emotion is?
The motion is, do you know the how is going to run the union and the company and the boss, Royal Mail Group
And
or
policies,
whatever.
yeah? Mainly
Yeah,
policies.
the policy is going to edit it, some of the emergency motion, some of the normal motion,
Right.
and the some motion is going to be proposed newly or some is going to be edited.
Yeah.
So whatever the motion is coming on the table, so
Uh-huh.
the people are giving support, some of them going to explain to support that, or some of them are going to explain that not to support them that.
Yeah.
So that's the video motion. Probably you have seen that. So I talked about the to support this motion and to provide the explanation and logic why do you need to support this motion or not. So that's the topic in the
Yeah.
video.
And also it's quite interesting. Like, I mean, in many countries, you see different unions, affiliated to different political parties. But we see in the UK, almost all unions, trade unions, are actually affiliated to the Labour Party of the UK. Um, I mean, do you obviously as a sort of officer, do you sort of regularly communicate with the party, the Labour Party, and
Yeah, I have to. As a political officer, I have to engage with Labour Party.
yeah, and
So
what
the
sort of what
Labour Party is actually created from the trade union.
right?
And so all the trade union is supporting the Labour Party. And I'm the political officer of our Romford Amal branch or district branch, whatever
Right.
is called Amal or district. So our Asian people, they knows mostly the district is
Yeah.
very good, easy to understand.
Right.
So in our Romford Amal branch, I'm the political officer. As a political officer, I have to cooperate or negotiate with the Labour Party's activists, councillor, and MPs.
Hmm.
And sometimes I'm going to the CLP's meeting as well, my local CLP's
Right.
meeting. So
Hmm.
my bara is covering Redbridge, Barking and Dagenham, Hayburing, and Thurrock as well.
Yeah.
So I have to communicate with them and liaison with this Labour Party, and I uh, give some fund as well to the CLP and the MP as well for their um, campaign purpose to printing up their leaflet or whatever, and sometimes sponsoring.
Hmm.
So that's why we have to support the Labour Party. When I was in East London Mail Centre,
Hmm.
I was long time to the Tower Hamlets Labour Party to CWU delegates. So
Right.
that time Tower Hamlets Labour Party was one branch, not Bethnal Green, Bow and Poplar Limers separate. They was together. So
Right.
they made the Tower Hamlets Labour Party. So that time was long time as a CW delegate to the Tower Hamlets Labour Party. And I used to do a campaign with door to door as well with MP Rushna Ali and with Jim Fitzpatrick MP.
Hmm.
But as a CW delegate, I had to go with them.
Yeah.
So that's why I was involved with door to door campaign and street stall and other things.
Right. So have you ever thought of like standing in local elections, standing for standing as elected representative?
Uh, Actually, I had intention, but then when I had intention, that time my children was very young
Right.
and I'm working full time and my wife is working full time as well. She had very responsible job.
Hmm.
So that's why his time covering was very difficulty. So
Yeah.
that's why I was thinking, to better to go to take the another responsibility.
No, I have a lot of respect, Sanwar, by people who go out of their way to do community work, and especially in politics, it takes a lot of sacrifice, sacrificing a lot of hours and days, sacrificing your time with family. So I have a lot of respect for people who actually go the extra mile, to make a difference in society. And that is one of the main intentions of me doing these programs, and just to highlight people who are making a difference, people who are really what I call silent heroes in society. Um, One thing I've realized, like, when I was growing up in the 80s, like when the conservative government came into power in 1979, trade unions as the actual party of the government actually saw unions as a obstacle to economic growth, and passed legislation of this sort of uh, the conservatives had mostly long avoided. Membership, as a result, membership actually declined steeply in the 1980s and 1990s, falling from 13 million in 1979 to around 7.3 million in 2000. I mean, there are pros and cons. There are arguments for and against. I mean, I know from the stats that countries which have more unions tend to do better. But obviously, the conservatives thought at the time the less unions we have, the better for the economy. It's the same thinking with the US economy as well. But if we look at um, some of the countries which have the most number of unions, um, you'll be surprised. It's basically the Nordic countries of Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. Almost 90% of their workers are part of some sort of trade unions. So, I mean, that's a good example to say that unions do work, and economies can actually function very well. But countries like the UK or the US tend to argue otherwise. What's your thought on that?
The Conservative Party, actually, they don't like union. They want to abolish the union.
Yeah,
So the union, trade union means the part of the Labour Party. So that's
mm,
why their thinking is, if they can abolish the union, the Labour Party will be weaker. So
yeah,
that's why their intention is to abolish the union. During the last time, I remember, we had 18 days strike in 2003, our CWU trade union, and we went to the Parliament Square and we went to the Buckingham Palace as well. We had a very, very big march. So at that time, Rishi Sunak told us, go to work, go to work.
yeah,
So why they don't go work? Why they don't go work?
yeah.
They was not interested to listening us.
Mm.
So that's why the trade union, sorry, it's conservative, always they're trying to abolish the union to make the Labour Party weaker,
Mm.
because trade union is Labour Party supporter.
Yeah, so in your opinion, do you think membership of trade unions, such as the CWU, um, is sort of going up or down? I mean, how do you see the future of trade?
Membership is at the moment is going down because the employees going to number of employees going to lower and lower, because of at the moment is uh, post office or whatever, Royal Mail or parcel foods, their work volume is going down
Yeah,
because of the modern machine.
yeah,
Modern machine sorting the packet is quicker, and letter is declining because of WhatsApp, social media, and email is delivering letter by social media or email. So
mm,
that's why letter volume is going down. So for this reason, number of employees going down. Whoever going to take the redundancy or pension, then
mm,
they are not going to employ the new member or new employee.
which
So
is
that's
very
why
sad.
day to day is number
Mm,
of employees going down. So
mm.
union is going bit smaller.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose under the Tories, the trade unions always had a very rough time, very hard time. They wanted to legislate laws which totally goes against workers, against trade unions. Um, but nevertheless, I think if we compare the UK to other countries around the world, there's many dictators who are running countries, one-party countries, um, communist countries. Um, at least we have, like in this country, almost 20% of the people who are working are actually part of some sort of trade union. But there are many countries out there, they don't even have a trade union. It's not allowed. So in that sense, I think we're very lucky. Um, One thing that really surprised me is that one of the most powerful trade unions uh, is a Chinese union, which is called the All China Federation, which you'd think is very, unusual or surprising. But they had a very tough time. The government at the time tried to restrict its activities, and members were imprisoned and executed for sedition, size matters in industrial disputes. And all the China Federation of Trade Unions um, uh, is the yeah, so it's the largest powerful union in the world. They have 190 million members, would you believe? That is, but I'm surprised they still exist, under a communist rule, but it is what it is. Um, so, do you think, obviously from what I heard from you, like obviously it looks very dim, the future of the unions in this country. But I think if there's a time where there is a need, we need more unions or more, unions to really be active and people to be members of the union. If there is a time, now is the time, isn't it? We are losing rights left, right, and center, especially after coming out of Europe. We used to be protected by a lot of European legislation, but obviously, under the Tories, it's just looking very bleak. So what is the future in your opinion?
Actually, the union is protecting employees' right and employees' dignity and job security as well. So whatever the industry, big industry, whatever in this country or wherever, everywhere in the world, they
Yeah.
should have the union for the employees' right. For an example, the third world country, every country they have a union as well.
Mm,
For an example, in Asia or Bangladesh, banking sector they have union.
mm,
Every sector they have union. Banking sector and industrial sector, whatever they have union. Even the engineering sector, electric supply,
yeah.
they have union as well. So because of their protecting their job and employees uh, upheld their right.
Mm.
So
It's interesting you should say actually, because I know the unions exist in Bangladesh, which is a good thing. But you see like political parties striking. But from my experience, I never saw any unions like come out to demand rights. Have you seen any? Have you come across any
sorry, where about which country?
in Bangladesh?
Yeah, in Bangladesh, every sector, the government sector and private sector as well, they have union.
Hmm.
That I gave you two example is banking sector and uh, what is
No,
called
no. My
is
question is
power development board.
my question was, you see in Bangladesh political parties striking. Yeah. Have you seen unions like striking in your lifetime? Have you seen unions come out in Bangladesh demanding for rights?
Actually, in Bangladesh, the union is not stronger like the Europe
Hmm.
or America, whatever. In Bangladesh, a union is they're fighting the individually. Actually, we can't realize. If
Right.
you go with them, if you talk to them,
Yeah.
and if you see there are some activity, then you can realize they have union. So in the banking sector, I had few friends. They are working in the bank, and they talk about the union. And I did ask them a lot of questions, what they do, what they're doing. So they explain me blah blah blah. And I had some friend as well, my classmate as well. They're working in the electric supply department in Power Development Board, and they
Right.
had a union. Once upon a time, one of my friend, he said he's a uh, I forgot what was his post. He said, I said, do you have union? He said, yeah, we have union as well.
Right.
So once upon a time, I went to see him, and then I found him. He is in the conference hall. They have a meeting. In Sylhet, big
Right.
meeting. They came from Dhaka and from other part of the Bangladesh. So then I asked them so many questions. They explained me what is for the, like you asking me today question, what you did last 2 weeks ago in Bournemouth. So I did ask them. They said explain me what they're doing, what their activities.
Yeah.
So like in our country, they don't do any strike. If they do the strike, but they're not coming out in the street. I
Yeah.
never seen them. They're coming out
Well,
in the street to
you think, like, especially in a developing country like Bangladesh, the unions would be more proactive. They'd have more demands, in terms of, like, terms and conditions for their work. But obviously, I haven't seen any unions come out. Why do you think that is?
I'm talking about the about 40 years ago when I was in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I don't know what is their situation.
Hmm.
So union still exist or not, or what is their activities, or what is their power, or whatever.
Hmm.
So actually, every sector they should have union to uh,
Yeah. No, I'm
keep
always for it.
their.
But don't get me wrong. I'm always for, like, people's rights, workers' rights. I'm for the unions because I believe that without the unions, companies or corporates, they would actually exploit people. So I really believe in the union and the trade unions. The largest global union, which is the International Trade Union Confederation, short for ITUC, is the global voice of the world's working people. Have you ever come across it?
No, actually,
Yeah, yeah. So
I'm
basically,
just keeping touch. TUC here in this country
right.
is called TUC is stand for Trade Union Congress.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're giving us training.
Mm.
Um, this week Monday I'm going to train for 8 hours as well.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
Trade Union Congress is going to liaison with other union and giving some training and some other guidance.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because it's a, like, global organization. It's like and all the other unions come under it. So it's like the headquarters of all the unions. So I think like, a lot of the unions, when they can't actually deal with the issue, or if they have a certain rights they want to sort of establish, they probably go to this ITUC. This is a,
Yeah,
like.
those are the national leader of the national level, every union. They have communicate with them, not the
Yeah.
lower level union rep or leader, whatever. Only national leader they communicating
Yeah.
with them.
I mean, this is interesting actually, Samar Bhai. The first union was actually established in the UK. The London Trades Council was founded in 1860, and the Sheffield outrages spurred the establishment of the Trades Union Congress in 1868, the first long-lived National Trade Union Centre. By this time, the existence and the demands of the trade unions were becoming accepted by liberal middle class opinion. And that's quite a thing, isn't it? I mean, it's thing like we had the first trade union, back in 1860. And obviously, trade unions were legalized through a law, the Trade Union Act 1861. Yes, that's something to be proud of. I think it led the world in terms of trade unions. So I think the actual time when the unions, as far as I remember, became very active and powerful was the high watermark for trade union power in the UK was the 1960s and 70s. At this time, there was a lot of industrial action that could have brought down the government. I don't know if you remember, but in the 60s and the 70s, there was constant, strikes in this country because conditions and terms were so bad for workers. People were constantly striking. Even in the 80s when I was growing up, like I saw strikes on a regular basis because the Tories wanted to clamp down on trade union activism, workers' rights, and especially the dustbin collection. It was really affected, and the bins were never collected for weeks and sometimes months. It was very, very smelly out in the streets. It was very hard to walk around. I was growing up in the 80s in this country, so I know like it was very bad. Um, so the one of the longest lasting labor union is it's called the AFL-CIO. In 1955, the two merged to create the AFL-CIO, which has comprised the longest lasting and most influential labor federation in the United States to this day. So that's the longest lasting labor union. So let's move on to your community work. I mean, you are a chair of the Sunamganj Jela Association in the UK.
Welfare Association.
Sunamganj Jela Welfare Association. So tell me about the organization and the work that it does. I know you were elected just over a year ago. Is it a year ago? Yeah. So tell me about the
In
work, why it
in
exists.
last September,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
had
Tell me about the
IGM,
organization.
BGM.
Yeah.
This is actually our voluntary organization,
Right.
and Sunamganj Jela Welfare Association is people who are living in UK from originally from Sunamganj district.
Okay.
So they are allowed to become a member of this organization.
Yeah.
This organization was established about 8 years ago.
Okay.
So it was very actively when was established this organization. This was very active and very active to work for the community. We did work for the community in this country. We did persuade to students who are in this country. They are studying in British and non-British Bengali, who are
Yeah.
non-British, who came from Bangladesh here, and who are born and brought up in this country,
Yeah.
who did the good result.
Mm.
So we have given them award twice
Right.
last time. So we are trying to help in Bangladesh as well, whatever we can, to cooperate with education and social work. And mostly in this country, we are focusing on the education. We are encouraging students
Mm.
to uh, be active on their study,
Yeah.
and we are communicating with the students' guardian how to improve their study. So
Right.
sometime we do the seminar as well about that. And
Right.
main thing is our in this country, so people are from Sunamganj. We are actually to introduce each other. We are to familiar each other and get together as a brotherhood and do something for the community.
Yeah. For those of
So
you who don't know, it's for the viewers. Sunamganj is a district in the greatest Sylhet of Bangladesh. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, keep up the good work. With I know, like you have, sort of done award shows to empower, to motivate students in the UK who hail from Sunamganj in Bangladesh. And also you've done a lot of work in Bangladesh as well. So keep up the good work. I just want to remember the person who was the founding secretary, uh, Barrister Fazlul Haq, wasn't it? Anwar bhai?
Barrister Fazlul Haq
Yeah, he was the founder of the organization, founder secretary. And who was the founder chairman?
is Iqbal Hussain,
Iqbal Hussain, right.
ex-BP of Sylhet MC College.
Yeah, yeah. So where do you see Sunamganj Welfare Association UK going in the future?
Sorry, say again, please. I
Yeah,
could not catch your question.
where do you see the organization, Sunamganj Jalla Welfare Association, going in the future?
So we are taking some plan to do something for our community and
Mm,
to improve our organization.
yeah.
We are going to try to expand our community and committee. So we have on a committee only UK based in base actually is London based. They are our committee. We are trying to now to make a committee every mega city. For an example, Manchester, Birmingham, or other area north and south. So to cooperate with other people and cooperate each other as well, and to make it a wide community and wide organization.
So where do most of the people who hail from Sunamganj, who live in the UK, which part of the UK do they mostly live in?
People at Sunamganj actually they are living most of them, yeah, not most of them, um, large of the member of the people are from Sunamganj. They are living in London, and another large community are living in Newcastle, mostly who are very much from Jagannathpur
Mm,
and Wales as well, in Cardiff and Swansea. They are living most of the Jagannathpur and Bishanath and other part of the area.
yeah. And obviously in
So
London, we know like it's mainly in East London, isn't it? Like places like Tower Hamlets,
yeah,
Neo.
yeah, East London Tower Hamlet now is second Bangladesh largest area in Newham, and now is going to be Red Bridge as well.
Yeah,
So there is a lots of Sunamganj people, Sunamganji, we call Sunamganji people who are
yeah,
from Sunamganj. The
yeah,
lots of Sunamganji are here as well.
yeah. So tell me, like, if I was to ask you, tell me about name a few famous people of Sunamganj district. Who, you know, who come to mind?
The famous people, if I going to divide few sector is education and politics and social sector. If I go to the politics section, the people are from Sunamganj. I can say one of the person is Shahagir Bokht.
Okay,
He was um, one-time candidate for the Conservative Party, Bethnal Green and Bo, is a parliamentary candidate.
okay,
And um, another thing is educationally, I can say few name as well. You know, the doctor,
Hasnat,
what is his name? I forgot his name
Dr.
is
Hasnat.
uh, Dr. Hasnath Sahib.
Hmm.
And from, do you know, the we called Amla in Bengali, we call Amla
Yeah.
as a official. I can say Anwar
Allah
Chaudhary.
is
He
like
was
a
a
civil servant, isn't it? Civil servant.
yeah, civil servant. Yes, civil servant. So just I was calling Amla. I want to make you smile. So
That's
that's why the
who
civil
is the Amla then? Who is the Amla?
yeah. As a civil servant, I can mention the Anwar Hussain Chaudhary or Anwar Chaudhary, who was ex-High Commissioner of Bangladesh.
Hmm.
So at the moment, he is going to be He was governor of uh, uh, mm,
He was the
sorry,
first, I
what
think
for
he was first the ambassador, UK ambassador to Bangladesh, and then he was the governor of Cayman Islands.
Cayman. He's the governor of Cayman Island. I think
Now
at
he's
the
the
moment
father.
he's some. I think at the moment he's working somewhere else, not more governor of the Cayman Island.
Right. Yes, and we also have Afsana Begum MP in Popular
Yeah,
Lighthouse.
Afsana Begum MP, politics of Asnana.
Yes. We also have Pola Manzila Uddin.
Yes, she is from Sunamganj as well. Actually, she is from other district, but her in-law is
Husband
from
is from
Sunamganj.
Qatar. Yes, that's right. And how about in Bangladesh, in Sunamganj district? Which names come to your mind?
In Bangladesh, if I can start from British politics, so
Yeah.
that time during the British politics, I heard the name is Okoy Babu. He was the member of the Congress.
Okay.
Originally, he was from Dirai,
Yeah.
and during the Pakistan period of the politics, I can mention the Abdul Samad Azad,
Hmm.
Babu Suranjit Chandra Gupta, Humayun Rashid
Abdul
Chowdhury.
Samad Azad was the foreign minister. Surendranath
Yeah,
Sengupta was the former railway minister.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Suranjit Chandra Gupta and Humayun Rashid Chowdhury. I did mention Major Iqbal Hussain Chowdhury
Hmm.
and Farooq
Minister,
Rashid
yeah.
Chowdhury.
Major Iqbal Hussain was a minister.
Yeah,
Humayun Rashid Chaudhry was the last speaker, and he was a minister before that, wasn't he?
yeah. His brother Farooq Rashid Chowdhury, he was also a minister as well.
Right.
And at the moment, recently was Mr. Mannan. He was planning
Yeah,
minister,
no
not at the
one.
moment.
He was the
He was
planning
the
minister.
ex-planning minister.
Hmm.
And at the moment, another famous person in Sunamganj. Actually, he is a famous civil servant, but at the moment he's in the politics. Dr. Sadiq.
Oh, yeah.
He is the one prominent person of Sunamganj as well. He was to three sector. He was leading the two three sector as a secretary of um, department
Yeah.
in secretary
Anyway,
education
Sanwar,
department.
in 30 seconds, we
He
have to end the program. Thank you for coming onto the program. Thank you for your feedback. It was very much appreciated. And I'll probably
also thank you very much as well.
no, that's okay. And I'll probably call you again sometime in the future. And thank you all for watching. Until the next episode, goodbye.
You are welcome.